So in today's video, we're in the Berry Islands where we wrestle some conch, and then we do a little bit of fishing, and then we head down to the Exhumas where we confront some dinosaurs. Have you ever dreamed of selling it all and cruising into the sunset? Well, that's exactly what we did. It's no fun going it alone though, so why don't you join us for the ride?
Yeah, so I forgot to get Lori a Valentine's card before we left. She did a nice job with the Love You decorations. But my friend John over at Traveler was smart enough to get his girl one. But he helped the brother out and he only signed it by saying love you. So after he gave it to her, he gave it to me and I was able to give it to Lori. It's true what I said. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was the card for her. Because I like to tell the truth. And that's how we do it when you're cruising.
So for Valentine's Day, our group decided to go to a restaurant called Coulee Maze on Great Harbor Key, and we all piled into the back of a pickup truck to get there, like any cruiser would do. And actually, I didn't get him in the video, but Leonard, the etcher extraordinaire, was on my right-hand side in the back of the truck. Coulee Maze sits on a beautiful bluff facing west, so you see a very nice sunset. Coulee Maze decor is warm and inviting with a definite island theme, and it's interesting that you need to order your meal actually the day before, so they make sure that they have what you want there, which is pretty typical of most Bahamian restaurants in these small islands. The food was delicious, the ambiance romantic, and I definitely got out of the doghouse for forgetting about that card. So we had a pretty favorable weather window coming up to head to the Exhumas, so the next day we chartered a course for our first stop, which would be the Lower Berry Islands to Bond Key. Our plan was to stay there for 2 nights, and then we would head off to the Exhumas. And ironically, while at Bond Key, we ran into another PDQ that was coming from the Exhumas called Twin Sisters, and our friends Russ and Lori owned that one, and they were nice enough to pass along a washer that I needed for that prop anode fix, and also a bag of Doritos, or Tostitos I should say, lime flavored. I don't know which was more valuable, to be honest. The trip to Bond was a beautiful ride, and our friends on Headway, Chris and Julie, were lucky enough to get a dolphin along their bow. Pancake loves a nice smooth ride, and once we got there, was happy to jump into the dinghy, do a little fishing. Wasn't long before I hooked on a fish, but before I could get it to a boat, a 3-foot barracuda came up and sliced it in half. Man, they don't call them the tax man for nothing. I was able to get another one to the boat, and I think it's a blue runner is what they call them. Not real good tasting, so we threw it back. Decided to go into the shoreline, which is pretty jagged. We found one little spot of sand where we pulled the dinghy up, and we decided to do a little bit of exploring. At first I thought the place was a little bit boring because of the jagged area, but Lori kept on foraging, and Pancake was following her around, and of course Pancake was all into it. Being that it was low tide, there were a lot of treasures to be found in the shallows.
So Lori just found the conch mother lode, and we brought him here. We got 6 beautiful conch, and this one's a monster. We are going to make some conch salad tonight for everybody, some conch fritters. It's gonna be amazing. Maybe we'll even find some more conch.
What the hell he's doing?
We'll figure it out by the 7th one.
I know.
You can always edit the video. Look how
Pancake's got to be in the video.
Fucking hard as a shell.
Put some muscle into it. Maybe that's the right chisel. I have one
Do they use a chisel or hand?
I think they use the back of the hammer like the claw. I think you're too far down.
Yeah.
I think you're right around there.
Okay. I think I got it.
You got it?
I think so. Let me see.
You figured it out? Whoa.
One down.
Look at that. Good job.
Let's do it.
Stuff out of here.
What, this
I
part?
think no, this all this stuff you want to go.
Okay.
That slimy stuff.
Ugh.
From out. So, some partially cleaned conch. Here are 2 of them here. I gotta take the skin off. I'm gonna dice them up and make some conch fritters. So first we're slicing it up, almost like julienne in the thing. Then I'm taking this mallet and I'm whacking the crap out of it, make it a little bit more tender. And then we've got these kind of cubes, and that'll go in the fritters. Hopefully it'll be pretty good. It's first time at this. We'll see how it goes.
So what are we making tonight, honey?
We are doing conch fritters.
Wow. From the fresh conch that we caught today, we found on the beach or near the beach. And we're gonna have a conch off with our friends here in, what key are we in?
Bond.
We're Bond
Like
Key.
Bond.
We're very fancy. This is our last night here in the berries before we cross over to head to the Exhumas. So,
And this
looking
is
forward to
onion,
everything.
Flour, conch, pepper, garlic, a little cayenne,
Salt and pepper.
salt and pepper.
And we made a homemade sauce to go along with it. So, looking forward to the conch off and see who wins.
It's the way we roll on Headway. Nice little bourbon tasting bar. Beautiful view. And of course we have Mike from Easy Riders. Looking good, Mike. Ready for the conch off. We got stuffed conch. We've got conch chowder. And we've got conch fried spice fritters. Yay! And fish fingers, which we have yet to unveil here. Oh!
All the major food groups.
Holy mackerel! Everybody to the fruit of the Berry Islands. Yeah! Gotta love a little conch.
So we left most of the PDQs behind, except for Chris and Julianne Headway, who joined us for the trip to the Exhumas. And the first night we stop in West Bay on New Providence Island. It's the west side of the island. Nassau is on the right side of the island. We did not want to get anywhere near Nassau. Been there, done that. Don't necessarily care to go again. So that was our first night. Basically a 3-hour trip there. We said our goodbyes, but a few of the group had gone off to go lobstering. And later on we got this picture from John. He had got this lobster off of Bond Key. Look at this bad boy. Amazing. 3-hour trip to West Bay, New Providence Island was a little bit lumpy. but we were happy to get to this protected anchorage of West Bay and enjoyed the night. So we left for Exhumas the next morning, and the first thing we saw on the south side of New Providence Island was about 7 super yachts, and apparently they just stage here waiting for their owners or charterers to fly in because there's a major airport obviously in Nassau. In contrast to yesterday's lumpy ride, this ride today was absolutely amazing. The water was like glass with very little wind. It was about a 6-hour ride, and we were in about 20 feet of water, and you could clearly see the bottom along the whole way. We anchored in Allen Cay in the northern Exhumas, and Lori quickly grabbed the paddleboard and pancake for some fun.
We found this pretty sweet cove with about room for 2 or 3 boats, and pretty much had it all to ourselves. And a beautiful little private beach. We took the dink to another part of Allen Cay, and the water was just amazing. It's about 12 feet deep there, and you could see bottom no problem. But what Allen Cay is really famous for is its resident rock iguana population. We had a little leftover lettuce with us, and once they figured that out, they surrounded us like velociraptors. The cake was on full red alert. Later on in the day, she jumped off the dinghy, first time doing it by herself, and chased a whole troop of these things all around the island. We had the devil of a time getting her back. Another amazing Bahamian sunset, and got a good view of the moon lined up with, I think it was Jupiter and Venus. So I realize I've been talking about the Exhumas without really explaining what the Exhumas are. They are a district of the Bahamas consisting of about 365 keys, small islands, and a little bit larger islands, and it's somewhat of a cruising mecca because it is more south, away from the cold fronts and high winds that come into the Bahamas in the wintertime, and has a lot of services for cruisers as well. Also, the temperature is a little bit more temperate during the wintertime. So that's the Exhumas. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. In the coming weeks, we'll definitely be exploring a lot of the Exhumas and bringing you more fun facts.